jump right into it. Going to continue the theme of kind of focusing on plants that we still have availability after kind of looking at where we're at with spring bookings. So this first one is a great plant to have available. And even after the spring bookings, looking at what you guys have in so far, there's still availability on it. Firelight. So you can see there, this photo is about maybe a week old, but the crop is very consistent, full size. You can see there the photo on the right. That's what it looks like in its peak. Great plant. This is more of a grower, very similar to Limelight. So it has the same growth habit. So, a little quick fire, a little more shorter, stockier, but Firelight is a bigger, more impact plant, but it still has very good branching and stems. So it holds its flower up, and you cannot beat this variety for color. It starts with the white and very quickly fades into pink. And as the bloom matures, it turns into that nice deep red. So great plant. Hopefully we can keep pushing it. We still show a lot of availability for now, but also for the spring. Next is a new one. So Tidbit is a new introduction to the Proven Winner program. This one here is more short and stocky because people were requesting that. So they wanted something in that Firelight type category that was a little more dwarf. So that's where the Tidbit came from. You can see here, it tends not to be as big of a flower, okay, but it's still very showy. It still gets quite a lot of flowers. It has a nice pink color that fades into red as it gets a little older. But it's different. So it's a different plant. So we do have quite a few of these available, brand new for this fall. It seems to be very adaptable. It's definitely going to be the more compact, so you can put it in tighter areas. So it just gives you another option here for something a little more dwarf if you're looking for that. So keep talking about that one. I think the plant grows very well, and I think it should find a home in the hydrangea series. Another one is Quickfire Fab. This is another newer one. So what they did was they looked at the breeding of Quickfire. So this one's going to tend to be more like Quickfire, not Little Quickfire. So Quickfire Fab has bigger petioles. It's more showy of a flower, and you still get those real thick stems that people like from the Quickfire series that stay up very well, hold up in wind and storm events very well. So you can enjoy that summer, fall color a lot longer. The plants have grown great in the nursery. Haven't seen any issues at all. And we have 1,400 of these. So see if you could take advantage of that. Schmargard, won't talk a lot about it, but y'all should know Schmargard. But you can see here, we just wanted to show you, we have close to 4,000 available. Maybe you scroll down a little bit there. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see the photo, but we have block after block of these. We have good availability on them. We're still showing availability on them even after looking through the spring bookings that you have for now. So, this is the arb of choice to push for us for a bigger arb right now. The green giants are going to be a little bit limited, if not sold out by the time we get to spring. So keep talking about Schmargard. You can see here, these have all gone through the mower, or the trimmer, I mean. So the pyramidal trim machine to give us a much better shape on it, trying to keep them more single leadered. This plant tends to be a multi-leader, which most people don't like, but you can trim that out of the plant, which we found. So we do spend a lot of time on that, trying to make that happen. So keep pushing there. Green Magic. So, you can see the photo here. Sorry, we don't have Cheryl. We don't have our crack photographer with us, so she's helping out at Long Road right now. So it's down to Matt and I, and neither one of us are as good as Cheryl with doing the photos. So, but here you can see, you know, we got excellent size, and go ahead and go into the next one, which should be the Densa. So we've talked about both of these quite a bit. They're both running the same size. They're, you know, just excellent quality in this crop. And we have both of them available, ready for bookings. You know, we go with Green Magic and Densa. They tend to be the best for winter hardiness for a glabra. The big thing with these is, you know, I've talked about this a lot, is they don't really stop growing. So they need water all year long. So if they're stored in a hoop house, they got to be watered over the winter. So that's the biggest problem. The plant could dry out in winter if we have a drier winter. And that's where the burn really comes from. So if people plant these out this fall, they need to really pay attention to the water on it. A lot of people think, hey, things are going dormant, I don't have to worry about it. That's not the case with this plant. So just some helpful hints there to be successful with a glabra. All right, next is Willimer. This is, you know, a Willoway introduction. It's a low-growing holly. We've talked about this quite a bit. It's, you know, in the X-hybrid Monservia class. You know, there's definitely a spreader. So this is going to be more of a spreader. It has a real nice small leaf on it. It's not sharp in any way. You know, its foliage is fairly soft when it comes to holly. We have a good amount available, and you can see here the quality is looking really good on this crop. Royal Family's next. So Royal Family is Prince and Princess together in the same pot. So you have your pollinator in the pot, and we have good availability for these also coming spring. You know, we also have some singles out there. But last year we were pretty short on Royal Family, but this year I think we got our numbers up there where we need to be. So there is still availability to keep booking for spring on this one. Royal Star. What we're trying to show you here is, if you scroll down a little bit and then scroll over if you can, I think. Does it go over anymore? Okay.
That's it.
That's about as good as you can get. So we wanted to show you, one's the 3 and the other one's the 2. There is virtually no difference between the two. We just wanted to impress upon you guys that the 2 gallon is really the better value. It's past its spec for size. You know, daylilies aren't much to look at this time of year, but this gives you a little bit of an idea. We're definitely going into fall. We will be trimming this foliage back, and we like to put them away for winter, trim back. I would suggest that to everybody. If you leave the foliage on top of them in a container, it makes really nice nesting material for mice. It also can cause a little bit of crown rot if it can stay wet and rot in there. So we really prefer to cut them back this time of year. So they'll be doing that in the next week. But the big thing is we wanted to show you, you know, the amount of eyes and divisions that are in each pot. We continue to have a really nice crop of these. So, you know, feel confident for spring booking on these 2 that we're pretty short this last spring, but this year we did a lot of work to make sure we had a lot of them. And then, you know, I just wanted to make sure everybody understood here that anytime now these will be getting trimmed back. Should have showed you a photo of what they look like, but you can imagine what it'll look like. But we just do that to clean up the foliage for the winter. All right, Summer Magic Viburnum. Here is just one of the best crops we've produced in a long time. Summer Magic is a Willoway introduction from quite a few years back. We really like this. It's Summer Magic's really become the the industry standard for a prunifolium. It has great hardiness, great disease resistance, and the shape is, it has an excellent shape to it. It takes very little maintenance to maintain this viburnum. So this is a very tough viburnum. It can really go out there in some tough situations. So, keep talking about this one. It should be on everybody's mind when they're talking about viburnum issues. I know certain parts of the country have viburnum issues. That's mostly with dentatums and some of the dilatatums. Prunifoliums seem to be fairly exempt from those. It's kind of a different animal anyways. It has a much tougher bark to it, and it's a smooth bark viburnum. So it tends to be able to ward off a lot of insect problems. So, it's a good plant to talk about if somebody says, I'm worried about the viburnum thing going on. Talk about prunifolium. Prunifolium is an older plant. It's been around for a while, but it has a lot of good things for it. And one of the best things is diseased and insect resistant. So be a good alternative. Next, we'll look at boxwood. So I think we got like 5 boxwood to go through. You guys have seen these before, but the first 2 are the independents. So you can see here on the independents, we're just at spec size. And then go ahead and go to the freedom is the next one. And you can see here, freedom is definitely pushing the size spectrum. It's a little more aggressive of a grower, so you can get that from these 2 photos. It's kind of I wouldn't call it an upright, nor would I call it a globe form. It's kind of in between. But you can see here, it could lend itself for some possible hedging. So some of these people that are looking for the cylinders, maybe, they might want to consider this. This could be a possibility. It could be definitely worked into a hedge. And it can also be trimmed and maintained as more of a globe form. So it has some possibilities. The great thing about the new gens is that they're blight resistant, which is a real good thing. The independence is going to grow more like a velvet. And I would say that its growth pattern and speed of growth is between a green gem and a green velvet. So a little bit slower grower, definitely more of a mounding boxwood. So you got 2 different choices, 2 completely different shapes of boxwood, depending which way you want to go. You got some choices there. We do have availability going in the spring. It looks like we got some great bookings on it, which is really good to see. I like to see getting these out there, and we have 2s and 3s available in both of these. Winter gem. Winter gem here is one of the boxwood. Is my pick of the day. It's just way over its spec size in a 3-gallon. We have a big number of these to move, so we need to keep focus on it. But as far as the best value out there in a boxwood, it would be the winter gem. So we have kept that price a little lower. A couple of things we can, because it gets to market size a little faster. And the other part of it is we are running a bit long. So we've worked that price to try to keep it lower than some of the other boxwoods to keep interest going on it. So, keep talking this one up. We got a lot of them to move, and have confidence that we have a great looking crop. Faulkner is one that Faulkner's been around for a long time. This was just kind of a happy accident. It's not what I wanted to happen, but we wound up getting the wrong liner at one point, and found out we wound up getting Faulkner. Faulkner is a tough boxwood. It's kind of another boxwood that's kind of a mid-range one. It's not quite an upright, nor is it like a globe form, but you can trim it either way. The plant looks great. The crop looks great. I will tell you that Monrovia does sell a lot of Faulkners. So it might be something to talk about people that bring in the loads from the West Coast. You know, they probably don't know us for growing Faulkner if they're using it, but we do have it this year. We have several thousand of them that we'd like to move. They will be in the Plants at Work pot. Not that we're really trying to promote it a lot in that program, but it was in that pot, so we left it in there. And see if you can move those along and move them out. We got them priced really good too, so hopefully we can get them out the door. Last one will be Sprinter, just to kind of round out the boxwood. Sprinter here is in the Proven Winner program. Sprinter is definitely more of an upright grower, but there again, it can be easily shaped into different shapes. So it's an adaptable boxwood. You can actually trim this into a pyramid if you wanted. We just sell it kind of as a globe form. But it will tend to probably be a little more upright. It has real nice glossy foliage that lasts all through the season, and it has great winter color. So that's one of the nice attributes of Sprinter is most of the other boxwood, like velvet, stuff like that, they really get a lot of bronzing for their winter color, where Sprinter tends to keep that green, that more lush, waxy color through most of the winter. So that's a differentiating factor for that one. All right.